Welcome back to Architectural Designs. And beforehand, I would just to greet everybody who have ever witnessed my presentations today all over the world. And by the way, I just introduced my name. My name is Architect Maximo Aurelio, a Filipino. And I've been a master's degree in urban planning from the University of the Philippines. Okay, have a very pleasant day to everybody who had been watching for my video channel. And I hope that everybody of you will be ready for the presentations, especially to those who are taking master's degree in urban planning or to those architectural students all over the world. I hope these presentations can help you so much in addition to what you have learned in the school. Okay, as I said, today I will be presenting to you urban planning. What is the requirement of a city? Okay, before you have to come up into a city, there must be a certain requirements. And as I said, urban planning is in general terms as aspects of planning a city in terms of income. Okay, why we need incomes? Because you know what, the people there living in the city, and this is a city, there is no farms. Okay, so most of be all of those inhabitants of the city has an income, whether they have their own farms at home or in the fields, or they are working with a certain companies in a certain city. Okay, that is how the people will live if there will be a specific income. Okay, next one requirement is land use. What is land use? Land use, it is the area developments, like for example, the roads. How does you arrange the roads, the orientations of the roads, and includes also with the building. And in this building, there are different types of buildings. There are residential buildings, there are commercial, institutional, industrial, and so forth. So this is one to be included in the land use. And also in the city, it needs also landscaping. What is landscaping? This is to modify the surroundings of the city, whether it is an open space or within the recreation area. So that is how to use land use requirement. Okay, the third requirement is the populations. Okay, to become a city, these are certain requirements of how many populations it involves there, how many inhabitants to form into a city. So if your inhabitants or the populations does not meet the requirements, it doesn't be converted into a city. Then the fourth one is agricultural and consumptions. Okay, in the city, there must be an agricultural and consumptions, for example. Okay, for example, the inhabitants there, maybe one of the source of income is by means of architectural or fishing. Okay, that is one of their incomes. So it needs agricultural consumption and even fishing. Okay, and the fifth one is electricity and lightings. Okay, a city must have involved a good electrical or electricity systems and the lighting systems to its inhabitants, and most especially to the roads, the small roads, the highways, or the secondary and primary roads must have a complete with electricity and lightings. The sixth requirement is health. Okay, in the city, there it involves health, like for example, hospitals, okay, clinics, and so forth. That will help uh, to provide the people, inhabitants of the people, to live within the city. So that is one of the requirements to become a city. Okay, seven requirements. Educations. Okay, in the city, there must be an education. Like, for example, school buildings, seminars, those meetings that will involve educations, wherein the children of the inhabitants must have to come into uh, to learn, to come in to learn into the schools. So there must be a complete facilities of educational systems. So that is one of the requirement. Next one is industries. A city also have an industry. What is the industry? Supposing it is composed of manufacturer. Okay, manufacturer or uh, warehouses wherein they can store their industries, like for example to as a method of income within the cities, not for individuals but for the whole cities itself. So it must have an industries. Okay, so that is one of the requirement, industries. Next one is education. Okay, I have mentioned this already, education. This is the same as number 7. So we will have to skip that one, number 9. So we go to water and drainage system. Okay, water and drainage system also very important in the city. Because you know why? Without drainage, the city will be overflooded. So it really needs water drainage, a proper layout or proper planning for water drainage, and also the water systems. There must be a proper water systems planning within the city because water is very important. Because you know why? We need 75% of waters in our body. Only 25% for uh, foods, something like that. Other parts of our body needs. So, as I said, 75% of our body is water. And aside from water and drainage system, another one is transportations. So, a city must have a proper transportation system. So, with this, what is the proper transportation system? It's either air transportations, sea transportations, and land transportation. There will be three types of communications, transportations: air, water, and land transportation. So if you have a complete of this, then you become a city. And another one is building and housing. Okay, in a city, you cannot just build anyhow a building. So there must be a group of buildings in order to have a proper urban planning. Okay, all those residentials must be in one place, industrial, commercial, and institutions must be in other place. We cannot just mix building between educational housing with the industrial because they are not linked to each other. Because industrial is very noisy areas wherein all those manufacturing of other items. So this one is must be segregated to a distance. So that is how being planned by the urban planner in order to become a city. And all those, for example, high-rise building. High-rise building also will be segregated because it must be in groups because you cannot mix with the high-rise building with the low-rise building. So it must be in a proper planning. That is why a city must need an urban planner. Okay, so that is how one of the requirements of a city. Okay, another one. Okay, there are, as I said, there are some criteria in order to become a city. A city must have involved some barangays, towns, a group of towns in order to become a city. Okay, as I said here, Okay, as I said, how to develop groups of barangays into a city. Okay, as a city, as I said, there are requirements. Okay, as I said, barangays, towns, a group of towns in order to become a city. Okay, what is the requirement of barangays? Or what is a barangay? Or okay, barangay is similar to barrios. The same as small groups of housing inhabitants that is composed of 2,000 inhabitants with a certain parameter of 30 to 100 families. Okay, so that is a barangay. Next one is municipality. Here. Municipality also is bigger forms of bigger groups of barangays in a certain areas which has a capacity of not less than 25,000 populations per kilometer square. So meaning there are 25 uh, populations and more or less about 1,500 inhabitants. Okay, so that is what we call towns. And then what? And the third one is okay. I will explain to you this further how to what are the requirements to be for applying urban planning. Okay, first of all, I will just explain to you this next time in our next meeting some other requirements, presentations of developing roads or land use of the city. In a city, it cannot be a city without a certain groups of inhabitants. Okay, how does a city becomes a city itself? Because of groups of barangays and towns. Okay, for example, okay, for this one, T1, meaning town 1, huh? Okay, this town 1, for example here, this town 1 here, as I encircle, T1, let's assume this is a town 1. Okay, this town 1 is composed of groups of barangays. You have here, so meaning the letter B enclosed is composed of different groups. Okay, for groups here, a lot of barangays. See, look at this barangays. The square one is the barangays or the inhabitants. So this is considered one barangay. And another barangay also here. Look at this. So this one also composed of barangays. See? So composed barangays. So there are several branches of barangays to form a town. So these are how many barangays? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are about 10 barangays in this town. Town 1. Okay? So in this town 1 here, aside from this one, there are also another forms of barangays or sitio or barrios. So you have here town 1, town 2, town 3, town 4, and town 5. So every town have their own groups of barangays. Okay, as I encircled here, letter B, it means it is a barangay. Okay, so that is a barangay. So barangay is a group of barangay to form into town must have as a requirement. That's what I have mentioned here. Okay, so this is the barangay. So, and in the government, you cannot just build your house anywhere because it needs proper design, proper urban designing. So, for example, the existing roads here represent the green color. This is supposed to be the highway. Okay? So if this is the highway, so the people just look at around the people here. They are just building their own houses anyhow without following the designs. So as you said, barangays are being grouped without following the city planning. So what is the city planners doing? Okay, the city mayor, they will come up into a certain board meeting. Okay, they will set up a certain board meeting, calling up all those towns. For example, if there are 5 towns, the mayor will call all those municipal mayor, call for a general meeting in order to have proper city planning. So, at the result, if all the town mayors or municipal mayor have decided, okay, the town mayor also will inform their barangays to let them know that there will be a zoning. Zoning meaning it is a proper planning of the city. Like for example, extensions of roads, widening of roads, or widening of the highways. So this is how it looks like. So once being approved by the majority of the town council, the city mayor will have to call for an urban planner. The urban planner must be an architect. Okay? It should be an architect who has a background of master's degree. Okay, so the urban planner's responsibility is to design the cities. It involves land use, as what I have informed here, and involves of land use, educational, industrial, water systems, transportations, and the buildings. So that is how the urban planner will come out into the design of the city. Okay, so supposing this town here is just building a house anyhow without proper planning. So without any proper planning, transportation is a problem. How to transport their products to the main city. So what the planners did is they have come up with a certain design based on the survey. So this is how they come up a design of the city. So look at the design, it is very nice. So based on this layout, they will have to decide whether this is being approved by the entire groups of urban designer. And after they come up with the final design, they will submit this to the city mayor for final approval. Okay, so they come out this one, but so you will see here the green color is the existing roads or highways. So the white one is the new city design. Okay, so that is how the urban planner did in the designing. Okay, it's here. Okay, for this one, the town here, town 1, look at the design here. Some of the buildings here has been within the roads. So this needs relocations. Okay, so this one as there are this portion here, there is one here. So you have to relocate this area, transfer somewhere. Okay, so this one no more here, in this barangay, I'm in town here. So there's another one here. Remember this? So you have to, the surveyor will inform the owner of this house to relocate. So they will move it to a certain area outside the roads. Okay, so this one no more area, right? We have this one is being transferred, and there is another one also here. So all those houses that being uh, blocking by the roads, they have to move it outside the roads or something like that. So this portion here is already cleared, and go to below here. There are also some other one house being affected. This portion here. So what they did is they have to inform again the owner to relocate this house out outside like that. So meaning the road is already clear in this area. So going further down, there are some houses also being affected, like for example this one. Okay, this one here. See, some portion of this house has been affected by the roads. So they will inform again the owner of the house to relocate this outside the roads. Below here also another one. So they have to relocate this again. Move outside the road. So it's all about clear. So what the city planner, together the barangay captains and the mayor, they will go around the area and look for the houses which being affected by the relocations. Like for example, this one here, there's a small house here, it's being affected by the roads. So they will inform again the owner to move this house outside from the proposed urban planning roads, because the city mayor, I mean the mayors and the urban planner plus the surveyor, you have to stick out into the site using a string. So they have what we call it's marking on site. So this is how it looks like after marking, that anything being affected by the roads, they have to relocate. Like for example, this one, this is a portion here. So the urban planner will have to request the owner to sit aside, move it backwards. It's either by bringing the whole house by group of people outside the proposal markings, or they will cut a certain of the house here by cutting like this, like that, or they will move the whole house away from the proposed roads. So they will continue moving around the area. All those being affected, all those houses being affected by the city planner, they have to move this outside the roads, something like that. Okay, another one here, then move again outside from the roads. Then they will continue moving around up to here. This one also here, another one affected. You have to move this away. Okay, so another one here at bottom, here another one, this one here is being affected by the widening of the roads. So they have to move this outside the layouts, something like that. Okay, so continue moving around another here. So it takes, I think it takes a week to inform the owner who is being affected by the zoning, the road zoning, to relocate their houses. Something like that. All relocations being done. Okay, so that is being done already. Another one here, move outside from the road. And this one also another small space. So they have to relocate this a little bit away from the roads, something like that. And then another one here, exactly at the center of the roads. So they have to move this out, something like that. Okay, so anywhere, as long as the owner approve that they will be relocated to a certain areas. So here also there are also two houses affected by the expansion, then the planner will inform the barangay captain or the barangay chairman to move their house away from the roads. So meaning, in designing a city, city planning is not just only approved by a single person or the city mayor. It is being approved by the mass groups of barangay captains and barangay captains and town mayor council. That all of these inhabitants affected by the road planning, they will be relocated. Okay, this one also is being affected. There are 3 houses here being affected, so they have to move it outside and relocate. Okay. It is somewhere here, they have to relocate inside or away from the roots. Okay, so anyhow, somewhere here also have been affected. Oh, no, this one is not affected because it is outside the roads. So furthermore down here, there are some houses, this one, the 2 houses here is being affected. So they have to move it outside the markings like that. Okay, so this one here is already cleared, and we have to continue down, look for a house being affected. This one also being affected, move it down. This one here is exactly on the road markings, they have to move it away. This two here, half of the house is being affected, move it out. And here also another 2, move it out that way. And this one must move up. Okay, so that is how being relocated. This is what they call zoning or relocations of housing. Okay, another one here is being affected. It's either move it up or move it down. So that is way. Okay, another one here. You have to move down. All of this also here, another one. Go up or move down. This one also here. Okay, so sorry. You have to move this down. Like that. So, they will have to go around it. Somewhere here, another barangays here is being affected. There's a lot of barangays are being affected here. Okay, they have to call for the owner of the house to move their house away from the markings, something like that. There's 2 here also below here. Another one affected. You have to inform the owner and move it out. Something like this. Okay. Any more barangays that being affected by the extensions, they will have to relocate. Okay. Now, what is the problem for the house owners has been relocated? There will be the city mayors will have to raise funds, raising to pay all those damages, all those housing damages by the road planning or the road zoning being affected. Because you know why? These are poor people here around here. There is no much income, so the city mayor will have to provide help to its individuals or to its inhabitants being affected by the relocations. So they will have to come up a certain capitals or a certain amount to pay all those inhabitants being affected by the road widenings. Okay, so as you said, here is already all relocated. And what happened to the roads? Okay, once all the inhabitants has been relocated, they will have to continue the markings and construct the roads. So how? They will go to the site by the use of the surveyor to come up with the actual layouts of the roads of the city. So those green one here is being affected, so they have to remove the roads being affected by the zoning. So they will erase this. So how does it looks like? The city is now look like this one. See, it is now very nice arrangement. As you can see here, the city. So look at the city here. This group of towns here, and group of towns also here. So this is how it looks like. So this now have a proper planning already. So what happened to this one? They will remove these markers already. This is for town 5. Remove the barangays already relocated. This one also here. Okay, remove this barangay here. Remove. Relocated. This also relocated here. Remove also this barangay. All this one being affected already relocated. Give me a moment first. I have to remove all those circles that represents the barangays. Okay, I have somewhere here and two. There are also some residents being affected here, so I have to relocate this. Here another 3, some more. Okay, so those are the final layouts of the city. So look at this one. How does it looks like? It's really very nice. See how the urban planner did in the actual in order to come out the proper planning of the city. See, look at this one. This one, a group of barangays here now become a city. There will be no more barangays, but it becomes towns. Okay, no more barangays. I will remove all those B represent barangays. Okay, so look at what does it happens now. It's really very nice. Okay, so there are in the city is still composed of towns. So what is being left there is only towns. The barangays no more already because barangays is being composed into the town. So they have town 1, town 2, town 3, town 4, and town 5. So there will be 5 towns. This city is composed of 5 towns. So that is why become now, and the whole is city. So this become a city. So this is what the urban planner did in order to come out with a certain very nice design of the city. And after this one, what will come out is the constructions of drainage. The constructions of drainage to both sides of the roads and electricity. So they will come up the constructions of electricity and the water systems in the city. So that is how it looks like. So that is how to design a city from various towns and to become a city. Okay, so I hope you enjoy my presentations, and don't forget next time I will explain to you how to reserve budget for the constructions of the town's planning. So because town planning will not just say immediate constructions without proposal of the city mayor for certain capitals for the constructions of roads. Okay, so take note next time we will be continue how to continue the rest of the items we have not discussed today. In our next meeting, please subscribe and don't forget to watch over my video on my next episode. Okay, and